Hello, welcome to another episode of New Gameplay. Today, I'm your host, Jeff Cork, joined today by Dan Tack.
Hey.
We've got Ben Hansen in the booth.
Hello, I'm not quite Leo, I'm sorry.
Yeah, good enough. And wait, we got Andy McNamara here? What gives?
I know. Something's wrong. Something's wrong.
Something's wrong. You heard the call of World of Warcraft?
It might have been that. It might have been that.
It's a good thing to hear the call of, let me tell you.
Dan
Yes.
Tack, what are we looking at here?
So what we're looking at mainly today, although we'll be talking about the game in broader terms, is this is an island expedition from the upcoming Battle for Azeroth expansion.
Okay.
So these are 3-man or 3-person instances
Careful.
that are class agnostic. You can take any kind of combination here. You don't need a tank, you don't need a healer, but you can certainly bring those along. And you come to this island to try to get 6,000 Azurite before the opposing team gets 6,000 Azurite. And the opposing team is either composed of a advanced AI, and you can run it on different difficulties for better rewards. So you can go all the way up to Mythic tier encounters for a really tough one. Or you can take on another set of players from the opposing faction, Horde versus Alliance, old school style.
Right.
So it's a PvP, PvE mixed encounter. Depending on how you face it, you might want to never encounter the other team and stay away from them.
Okay.
While you search the island for Azurite. Or you might want to get in and kill them and take their Azurite for your own.
Okay. And we're looking at your footage because you were at Blizzard's HQ playing this, correct?
That's absolutely correct.
And I noticed
Did you name yourself Hansen?
I did.
a real subtle dig.
Did you really?
I absolutely did.
Is this a slap in the face for that Jurassic
And
World nonsense?
Mr. Hansen knows exactly why I did it.
Oh, no. Apparently he does.
Moving forward, that is my name in all press footage.
Oh, it stings. It stings. You're playing like garbage, too. Oh, it stings.
And let me explain a little bit about that, too, to curb it a little bit. I do play a hunter on my main, but this was all kind of like...
It's all new stuff, and you don't have any of
Here are
your
your
UI.
talents,
Yeah.
and I had no concept of... Some of these skills don't translate to skills I currently have because they've been changed for the expansion.
Yeah,
blah, blah.
Just for the sake of discussion, they give you this level 120 character and say, have at it. Do you get to fill out your own skill tree or anything, or is it just
I got to pick
pre-baked?
I got to pick my talent. It's the same as you do in the regular game, but I didn't have a time to do it.
Okay.
I didn't have time to sit there and read everything.
Right.
And these skills a lot of these skills are new.
And like how they interwork is like
Right.
the secret to being
So you-
good at something.
So you won't see professional rotations or gameplay here, but we get it done.
Okay.
Well, that's something we always deliver every week here is not professional gameplay. So.
We just promised new
New
gameplay
gameplay.
today.
It doesn't say
That's right.
well-played gameplay.
So you can see we're just starting off on the island here.
Right.
We're at 515 Azurite from just the crappy stuff we've
Is that
killed.
some Azurite over there?
The chunks are in the ground, yeah. And
What's that little sparkly guy over there?
Where?
Right by that 3-headed monstrosity.
Oh, I see
So-
the monstrosity.
I have a question for you right
Sure.
away. I mean, like, so is this the jungling phase? I mean, it feels like I've heard a
Sure.
lot from companies a lot lately. They're like, it's our PvPEVE mode.
No, I get you.
You know, I like that. That's a very common phrase, and a lot of times I always feel like they're trying to capture some of the magic of MOBAs. I mean, I know which I'm
Yeah.
sure people are angry that I even mentioned MOBA because
It's
it
okay.
often makes people angry, but that mixture of gameplay is certainly something you have here and something that you think, given that the esport of arenas in WoW is difficult to follow, you have to really know your stuff to understand that
So-
as an esport.
so this
Do you
is-
think this is something they're trying to set up to be
To be an esport? I don't think so.
something that a larger like viewing kind of like you can watch like
certainly-
stream this?
I think you definitely can, for sure. That's one of the coolest parts. You mentioned, is there a lane phase? There's really not. You can go and engage with the enemy right away.
Okay.
Or you can not. Like, you can see them on the map there, barely. They're down there in the lower left. You see the Alliance shield.
Yes, okay.
So you see we're moving away from them. But if we can engage them whenever we want. It's a small island. If you want to go right for the jugular and attack the other team outright and just keep doing it, you can. But
And then every time you kill someone from the opposing team, do you get like a fraction of the Azurite they've
you
collected?
do, and check out that little meter on
Done.
the top
And
right near the map. It's slowly ticking up. That's how much Azurite I'm worth when I get killed.
Okay.
So
okay, so you go
kind
up in value.
right? And it does have a cap, so you kind of want to like maybe your strategy is to wait till they're worth 250 each, and then go take out the whole group. Maybe you just want to completely stay on them the whole time. We're all trying to figure things out here. Like, this guy's locked up in a cage and we could never find the key. I don't know if it was properly implemented, but that's one of the things you can do. This thing gave me like some weird buff.
Because that's the charm is that there are it's procedurally generated. There's lots of options. Like that
It's
guy
randomized,
in
yeah.
the next one, that guy may not be there, but
He definitely won't be
knowing,
there.
yeah, knowing how those challenges work is the secret to being good.
Here's how it's procedurally generated. So it's not exactly procedurally generated.
Okay.
But, so the islands, there's more than one island, but if it's the same island, it'll look the same. but what's on it will never be the same.
Okay.
So this guy might not be here. The rare mob that we killed earlier won't be there. Everything's laid out in a different way. The quests are different. The items to interact with are different, and the enemies are different.
So you have to make calls on the fly, essentially.
Yes.
Is what it's requiring as you play.
And even cooler than that, which we're going to get to see a little bit of, is that things change during the course of a match.
Oh.
So not everything here is essentially all that's going to be there. You might trigger an unknown encounter inadvertently or on purpose if you're really good, or some random events might happen, which will happen during the course of our game here. Later on, we're going to see like a snow elemental assault on the entire island that causes tons of snowstorms, that cause lots of problems for the players, and spawn a crap load of elementals and treasure chests. So
explain to me a little bit now that we're seeing this.
We're very relaxed right now,
Yeah,
actually.
things are going pretty chill. Is like, so I can bring what I want to bring. So what if I don't bring a healer? That seems like a severe disadvantage.
you just kill the stuff faster. These aren't like...
Yeah, but I mean, when you get to the part where you actually engage the enemy, not having a healer seems like a big deal.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a great case. That traditional PvP would merit that, and I'd say that if you were, here's a rare mode. If we were doing traditional PvP, like saying queuing up against another team, yeah, I'd say have a pocket healer, right?
Yeah.
But the AI comps may not have a healer either. Their comps don't play by normal class rules. Like they have like a group of pirates. Those aren't real classes, right?
Yeah.
They've got some moves that are similar to like roguey abilities, but they've got their own skill sets and their own play styles even. Like there's a pirate called Sneaky Pete on the pirate team, and all he does is stealth around and try to get last hits on your creatures, and then stealth back again and hide. And he just follows you around trying to basically steal all your Azerite kills.
So did you have Flare on a hotkey?
We never saw Sneaky Pete, but he is one of them.
Okay, gotcha.
The group we did have on this encounter, I did several of these islands. I don't really know what the theme of this group is, so hopefully I can spot it during the replay here. They were sort of a mixed band of, I think, humans and night elves, and they didn't seem to have any real thematic things. It was like a mage, a healer, and a tank, I think.
And did you do any that were like 3v3, or did you only do 3 versus AI?
We only did 3 versus AI. That was all that was available just because they didn't have enough people to set all those matches up.
Gotcha.
I didn't even see the people that I was grouped with on this one. They were in another room.
Oh, gotcha.
So that was I couldn't interact with them. But I think we win this. I think we won this one.
Okay, you just
you're behind.
We are behind right now.
You are behind.
I
right
believe.
now.
See, this is. I think we have an encounter here pretty soon, where we get a chance to take the lead by taking their Azerite.
What is the detector meter that is underneath that? What is that?
Yes. Okay. So what I infer from the detector meter, these little it shows you these.
That it detects Azerite. Is
So
that
here's
what
why we're
you're
behind.
gonna say?
Next question.
For one thing, I want to show what's going on here. We're behind right now because we're trying to like figure out this cage guy that doesn't work because they don't have the quest in or whatever. And now we're trying to figure out that we're at the enemy spawn point, and going into there will kill you. So we learned that pretty quickly. It's to prevent spawn camping.
Okay.
I'm just like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
The other two my two allies died. Anyway, Azerite detections. You see on the map these little like.
Sorry.
You see those little. There's one on the map right now, right in the center.
Yes.
Those are like
the
like,
ones that appear on the map.
It indicates, hey, this is a hot spot. You should go here. When the detector hits, it all shows. So normally you have to like wander around and find those bits.
Okay.
But then it's sort of like, all right, let's speed up the action here. Everybody knows where this stuff is. Get in there. And then the island events start happening too, which is really cool.
So with that spawn, I mean, you're just spawning on a ship, so they have a ship as well, I'm assuming.
They do. They're right next to each other. If you,
I mean,
you
you can essentially still spawn camp just by being at the bottom of the ramp.
You can. So I've learned over the course of a couple matches that one of the techniques is sort of drag them out of spawn. So to move them to another part of the island and hopefully get them engaged with a bunch of other crap.
Do they introduce do they throw in more monsters to stop that kind of behavior? Is there any kind of dynamic changes that
there are
that
dynamic changes, but I don't believe that they have anything to do with
the
spawn
result.
Camp. Yep.
Would be spawn camp. Okay,
Right.
All right.
So yeah, if you're right, if you really want to spawn camp, you probably could.
I mean, good teams will push, kill the other 3, and then just sit there and bait them to come out.
And I think that
win.
will absolutely happen. Here's our first encounter with these guys.
Okay.
In any case, you're right. In actual PvP, that will definitely happen. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
But I don't think the AI is designed to camp you unless they made a team designed to do that.
Okay.
So yeah, I couldn't really figure out the theme of this team. We got like a frost mage, a priest, and then some kind of tank thing.
Aqua Bolt.
Yeah, I never really could figure out what like the theme of these guys was, because every other archetypes are supposed to have like a theme.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I couldn't really figure out what these guys' deal was.
And is this available like as soon as you start? Like when it goes live, everyone will be able to do it, or is there like a specific? You have to have a character of this
that's
level.
That's a good question. I think it's for all the way up.
Okay.
I think you can do whatever, but I can't confirm that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they've generally encouraged like that you could level this way, but
Yeah.
they encourage it. But once in practice, it usually
In
never
practice,
works.
you get your quest like a good boy and go through the zones.
exactly. It's like, no, you do the story
Yeah.
mode, and like, oh, I need this gear. No, you'll
Yeah.
raid to get that
Yeah.
gear. I mean, in theory, it's there.
Yeah, it's a cool theory. So we found a big Azerite thing here. There's a big elemental guy and tons of nodes. So this is obviously very, very fertile territory.
So most of the guys you've been able to kind of kill in, a minute, let's say, like there's no like boss level characters, or are there boss level characters?
And that's something I want to talk about. We're playing on normal difficulty now.
Okay.
So on heroic and mythic, this would be obviously much more difficult.
That would make it much more
Yes.
difficult. Yes.
Okay. And like all the islands, are they using the same or a similar tile set, or are some of them
The island, we only get to see the one island.
Okay.
But the different island templates are all supposed to be very different.
Okay.
But I believe they all draw from the same activity pools.
Okay.
So you can have all kinds of weird encounters.
So, are there like loot rewards afterwards? Like
There
generally
are.
rewarded like PvP?
There are loot rewards at the end, but we did not get to see that. As you'll see at the end, we just get a cool screen that says "Thanks for playing." But
Oh, the old thanks for playing.
Yes.
It's very cool.
I didn't want to spoil it, but yes, there are rewards, and they are based on the difficulty. So if you want to get the good stuff, you go mythic, and you will get Azerite from this as well. So people want to do it every day. I don't know they didn't tell me what the cooldown was, but there are diminishing returns.
Yeah,
so
there always is.
You
yeah.
can't just island hop all day long and expect to get tons of Azerite.
And just so people know that maybe aren't up to speed on what Azerite is supposed to do, that's what's powering this neck. That's essentially the new legendary of this game.
This is your new artifact power.
Yeah.
if you
Oh,
play
yeah.
Legion.
Artifact. Yeah, that's the correct terminology. So, and as that thing levels, it unlocks more thing on the kind of high end gear that the stuff that you'll be focusing on being the Azerite pieces.
And a quick note on that: different from the artifacts, the Azerite pieces are going to give you options, right? And that's going to supposedly that's the big difference.
That's where you're going to kind of talent your guy out.
Yeah,
To some
they
degree.
didn't like the way that artifacts sort of pigeonhole. Like whenever you did, your artifact was still going to be full at the end.
Yeah.
This one lets you make choices along the way, so you're going to be better at one thing than the other thing.
Well, what they claim, which is
in
my
theory,
concern.
Again, it's in practice.
They say in this expansion what they're really trying to do is to bring back variety in characters, and then also highlight again that like druids do druid things and priests do priest things. Not like the game has been a bit homogenized now in that
absolutely.
like, are you a healer? Okay, then come, right? Like you're not looking for anything extra that healer brings other than like in high-end mythics. It's nice to have someone who can res and do some of those
Sure.
other things, that the utility things. They're trying to put that utility back. And then at the same time, too, with these Azerite pieces was to be like, oh, I want to be someone who focuses on X attack. That
Yep.
you could choose talents that would make your Hammer of Wrath, let's say, your most powerful attack, because that's the way you like to do things. They say they're going to introduce variety. Now, we all know it's going to like appear on Icy Veins and Wowhead and say this is the best one to do, and that's the one everyone will do.
And actually, I asked them that exact same question. I'm like, it just isn't people? I actually said Icy Veins. I'm like, isn't everyone still going to go to Icy Veins and just pick the best thing? And he's like, well, yes, but they're designed in a way to make it see like I want to do more damage in a group or I want to do more damage solo. Instead of being like just this one's better than the other. We all know,
Yeah.
I don't believe it either. In practice, we're all going to go to Icy Veins and pick the right skills, but let's see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, the problem they have with that is a design choice for them. And I will say I'm a huge WoW fan. I've enjoyed a Legion a lot, but whenever they make things that kind of, I like that there's a limiting like setup to your character, but I hate when the gear piece itself then is locked into that setup.
Yeah.
So like if you're like, okay, hey, I want to do more, mythic stuff, right? Or I want to do more island adventures and I need this setup and I'm going to choose those talents in my gear, and then you choose them, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, well now I want to do a lot more raiding because I've done so many islands, I'm tired of doing it, and then you have to re-gear again to be proficient or be at that kind of min-maxing level, and that's where my concerns come about, where it's like, why make this cool Azerite gear that you could turn the dials and pick different things on it if you can only turn the dial once and it's over?
Sure.
I mean, not
absolutely.
to get too deep.
We
but-
do need to see how that turns out in the end. And as you can see, we've been fighting the enemy team quite more frequently at this point. We fought over the giant big dude with them.
I mean, you guys have handled them pretty well, and I don't know that you're playing all that great.
Again, definitely not playing good.
Yeah.
Again, normal difficulty. Hopefully, you should be able to win on normal, right? Like, should not be that challenging.
So what other things? What are there any examples on this of the AI doing interesting things other than just kind of standing there and getting shot by you?
That was my problem. We have a island event just starting here. As you can
Okay.
see.
Oh yeah.
But no, like I said, this particular team did not do a great job at showing off the AI's difference from just attack until you win, because that's
Now-
all these guys seem to do.
And are the teams static, or do those team members change as well? Is that pulled from a pool as well?
There is a pool of teams, but the teams will always, like, if it's the team of these guys, it'll always be these guys.
These guys, okay.
Right?
Gotcha.
And then they've got like the Goblin Engineer team or the Pirate team. So
This is just a bad poll.
yeah. Well, it wasn't an interesting pull.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a bad one. These guys they were very vanilla.
Yeah.
In their actions, they attack, they heal, they tank.
So
Yeah.
what is the island event? Just something that is like on a timer? Like
That's not known. I don't know if we did something special to trigger this.
okay, so you can die. We've got that.
Yeah, you
confirmed,
could definitely. I mean, yeah. So we had a special rare pack pulled already, and then that event sort of spawned next to us, and we
Okay.
grabbed all those guys, and I just got rezzed by my teammate. Who
Helpful.
It was a bad
Right
res.
there.
Yeah, that was a bad
This
res.
is what we call a troll res in the biz.
Well, did you have a feign off there?
My feign is on cooldown because I did feign as soon as I got in,
Yeah.
and then I realized I'm not getting away.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was looking back
standing
on my
up was
team.
maybe a bad idea.
Yeah.
But that's all right. So what does that stop anyone now? Now I've got into so like
Yeah.
if it's from a set pool, I can see my friends and I trying to min max that as well, which would be like you go in and you go like, oh, it's those three idiots. I hate playing these three guys. Let's leave and requeue and do it again and
What
keep
would stop you?
requeuing until you get ones that are favorable to the player, right? Because I mean that's what players do.
You're absolutely right.
You pick the easiest path forward.
So I believe that there are. Man, don't quote me on this. I think there are 6 or 7 different archetypes at this time of teams. So you're right. If you get the pirates and you don't want Sneaky Pete to take all your kills, I guess you can leave and reroll.
Yeah, it probably gives you the 15-minute debuff.
There
of,
was no
like, the-
debuff
there was
on
no
this,
debuff,
but it was probably changed for the event. So
yeah, like in the real game, usually if you leave some kind of queued event, they give you a coward
a half an
debuff,
hour.
like 15 minutes, 30 minutes, like kind of.
I would imagine they would try to put something like that in just to make that happen. But maybe you're right. If you're trying to do it on Mythic and you want rewards, maybe it's worth taking the debuff, right? To reroll. If you
Yeah,
get
to go do a world
Yeah.
quest or two
Yeah.
while you wait for it to get to have the opportunity to do the guys that you don't want to fight.
And you will be world questing on both continents at the end game.
That snow's cool.
It is, and it actually has an effect too. I didn't hover over the debuff long enough, but yeah, it's affecting us.
Oh, and it's like a debuff or a.
And then on the ice, it's even worse. Yeah. So it slows you down. So it sort of creates an interesting chemistry for even PvP because you're all fighting against the elements.
Yeah, that is interesting.
And this is only one of many. I guess, unfortunately, I don't think we have the rotworm footage. We got ambushed by a rotworm on a different run. It's pretty epic.
Sounds gross.
Yeah,
It was
I hate
it was
when that
horrible.
happens.
I do too. I try not to have it happen.
So did you feel like when you were playing that I mean I know you mentioned the pirates and the kind of like
Yeah.
Sneaky Pete being the highlight, it seems so far. I mean, were there other behaviors that you felt were interesting or showed how the AI was
Not from the AI was a lot of discussion, but not a whole lot of playing against actual AI that I got to see do its stuff. Again, this team that we faced, they didn't do much of the epic. Again, we're on normal difficulty.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, even like when they were on the screen, I was like, "Oh, that's the team." Like they don't even really have.
They
like,
don't
The,
have
the
a-
UI doesn't even have like an elite thing on them or anything that.
That is true.
That
They're
highlights
only on the
them.
map. You can only see them on the map there. Otherwise, they just look like players.
Yeah, or just any old mob.
That's true. That's true.
Well, they had some taunting, I think, the first time you saw them, right?
The other. I know
Drop
that
some emotes on
Yeah.
you.
I know the Goblin Mechaneers have like a shredder. That's their big guy, and then they got like a laser beam guy. I wish they would have been on this map to show them off because I guess we got the vanilla World of Warcraft crew.
Yeah.
So
The tank mage healer.
And you said each one of these took around 20 minutes? Were they about the same?
Yeah, they take around 20 minutes. Some of the other ones we didn't finish because there was some problems and people left.
Yeah.
So it's really hard after you lose a party member to compete.
Yes. And it doesn't. You can't replace someone on the fly. You can't.
Right.
Like it's not like a dungeon where you can get someone to replace them.
So,
Right.
like, like, kind of on that subject, then, like,
Well,
say
we couldn't. I don't know if that's going to be
In the final
complete and
game.
final. It's
Yeah.
only because at the event, you were at a station, and if you left the station, that was sort of it.
Just kind of land based.
so, like, if you were on Alliance right now and you're down by 1,000 Azerite,
Sure.
would you expect your teammates to start dropping off, further cementing?
Oh, no. You
the
probably
loss?
stay to the end to get the rewards no matter what at this point.
Okay.
Right? Just like let the other team win, and you're still going to get something.
Okay.
That's the assumption. And again, this was not against real people. I
Right, right.
really do think this is going to be a very interesting experience against real people.
Yeah,
like,
I would agree.
like with this kind of lead, is there any way that they could have caught you? The other team
Yeah, they
could
could
have
have.
caught up.
They should have focused. They could have
Focused on-
focused on killing us.
Okay.
Take a couple hundred off of everybody, and keep an eye on us.
Okay.
And then try to attack the same enemies that we were attacking to get the credit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think one good push, you probably could change the game. I mean, but you're right. I mean, like,
It's very hard at 400 left. Yeah.
that's one of the things that problems this game faces to some degree is that, like, in PvP, a lot of times there's people that literally a match will start with like a number like 6,000. You'll go down 500, and they'll go, "Well, just great. You guys are idiots," and
Yeah.
and then just stand there
Right.
and do nothing and die over
Yeah.
and over again to get the rewards. And then you're like, "Well, I'm stuck in here
Yeah.
for 20 minutes with this idiot,
Right.
and I'm gonna just sit here and just lose, but I'm not gonna not play. So I'm gonna try to keep engaged."
That's actually why I think it's great that it's a mixed experience.
Yeah.
Like if you get, let's say you get stomped right away. Like, see this torch thing? I don't know what it does. But it is an item that I gathered, and I never found a use for it because we were about
Go
to
light
we
the
were about
guy
to
on
win.
fire in the cage.
Yeah, I mean that's an option, right? But it does something. There's all kinds of interactable
Does it
little
counteract that
things.
debuff, maybe?
No, I still have it next to me. Sadly,
Or maybe it would shrink the frost on
it
the
could.
ground. Yeah,
I couldn't figure out what it did because we didn't have a whole lot of time left in the match. But there's all kinds of weird little trinkets and things like that for other players to interact with. Like, let's say you do get destroyed early on. Maybe you take a different approach and you stay away from the other team on the other side of the island. Try to find some stuff, get some stuff going there.
Yeah, I mean, I like that kind of like deep knowledge, you know what I mean? That there's that many options that you can start to find and learn. The most interesting maps and the most interesting games are the ones that have a lot of depth.
Right. I like it really struck with me. Like, it doesn't, like, this whole thing, encounter probably doesn't seem amazing. But after doing it a couple times, I like it a lot, on a different
You were
level.
excited. I mean, when you walked up and started telling me about this morning, you were excited.
So on a different level than a dungeon where I know exactly what to expect every single time, and it's just sort of going through the dungeon, going through the motions, and getting paid at the end, right? Like, this I never really knew what to expect, and I don't, with so many variables, hopefully that continues for a very, very long time, and it remains a fresh experience. That to me counts for a lot. Like, just having something new in the daily routine instead of just queuing up for dungeons over and over and over.
Yeah, I mean, that is definitely like, it's I do like try to do some high end Mythic Plus. I'm not like the greatest in the world, but I'm not like at the bottom. But that is the thing. Once you know what the pools are, you kind of do that same pool over and over again. Where I bet on Mythic, it's probably pretty interesting to have it be. Thank you for testing. Yeah.
Look what we got. Look what we won.
The interesting that you never know how big the pool is or what's going to appear or
Right.
change and make for those like kind of oh crap moments.
Yeah. Well, cool. Thanks for
Yeah, and
showing
here we
this
are,
off, Dan
back
Tack.
at the port of Zandalar.
That's amazing.
Trolls here.
Classic.
Yeah.
Oh, looks
Excellent.
cool. Can't
Yeah.
wait to play it.
Same here.
Well, thanks for joining us, Andy.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. Hey, Ben, thanks for doing that thing
You betcha. Hey, this is
And-
new gameplay
today.
today.
As always, thanks for watching. Bye.